And when asked about health problems, 1 out of every 3 indicated health issues such as sleep deprivation, headaches, nausea, seizures, and heart rate ailments. And that's for group that children wanted the turbines. Next slide. As an engineer, I don't want to speak to the issues, but I do try to keep up what the medical research is saying. At this point, we have at least 6, if not more, studies that have shown that wind turbines do so in medical pathologies. The first to die was Dr. Maneri in Britain, and they're about 20 years ahead of us on wind turbines. Therefore, the problems were more apparent there. But they were apparent there. Dr. Nina Pierpont from the US, for peer reviewer Black, and Dr. Michael Kissenbaum from Maine have all found problems, health problems in people living near wind turbines. And this is up to 2 kilometers away on flat land and up to 3 kilometers away in I'm still there. I'm waiting for that to go away.
Could you repeat that last sentence?
Yes, I said what Pierpont, Black, and Nissenbaum are saying is that here in the States, wind turbines do cause health problems on flat land. The distances that health problems have been reported are up to 2 kilometers, about 1.25 miles, and in ridge and mountainous areas up to 2 to 3 miles. In Ontario, Dr. Robert McMurtry has also been studying this problem and finding the same types of relationships. And again, Carmen will talk about that in more detail. And one that I find most interesting is in Portugal, Dr. Carlos Bruno and his assistant, Maria Alves Pereira, who is an engineer, have been studying low-frequency sounds in people who work near equipment that has a large amount of it, like sailors operating diesel engines, large ships, or jet pilots, and cabin crew. What they're finding is that people who are subjected to low-frequency sounds on a long-term basis develop a particular pathology of the cardiovascular system. And their term for it is vibroacoustic disease. When they turn their attention to wind turbines and people living near wind turbines, they found the same symptoms. And so their thesis is that long-term exposure to wind turbine sounds can actually cause a modification to the supporting structures of the chest cavity, and eventually those modifications begin to interfere with quality of life. Next slide. Well, I hope that one of the things that made clear is that there is reason to be cautious about wind turbines. This really means that we should be applying caution. And that is that if an action or policy might cause, then we do not proceed that until we know more about it. And the other part is that the burden of proof to demonstrate safety is on the shoulders of those who advocate taking the action. So the wind developers, the state agencies that are trying to build wind turbines really have an obligation to prove the safety of these devices before they move forward with the project. That's not being done. The wind developers have presented any independent peer-reviewed evidence that long-term exposure to wind turbine devices is safe. They do, however, consistently say that other studies fail to be peer reviewed or fail scientific criteria, but they have nothing of their own to show to the contrary. My position at this point is placing wind turbines within 2 kilometers of homes on flatland, or 3 kilometers when turbines are ridge mounted and people are living in the valleys below. Though that would have an adverse health effects, at least a portion of people. And I want to remind again, World Health Organization says that we need to have 30 pH level outside our homes to help us sleep. Next slide.
You're breaking up again, so people are having a little trouble hearing.
I am almost done, folks.
They asked to repeat, so I'll just read because that was the last part. Placing turbines within 2 kilometers or 1.25 miles of homes on flatland and up to 3 kilometers, 2 miles, when turbines are ridge mounted and people are in the valleys below, has been shown to have adverse health effects on people. The World Health Organization said in 2007 that nighttime noise guidelines state 30 dBA outside the home is needed for healthful sleep. Okay, next slide.
Okay? And this is my concluding slide. In order to accomplish these ends, which is safe siting of wind turbines, my collaborator, George Camperman, and I put together criteria that we believe will lead to that level of safety, while medical studies and research identifies the turbines at higher levels of sound or closer to people are safe. First, we're recommending that the sound level in anyone's home not exceed 35 dBA in regard. We also recommend that the wind turbines limited to not increasing the sound at night by more than 5 decibels. In many cases, wind companies advocate calculating the sound level picture. We believe that the sound level need to be measured at the property. A person should have used property, particularly if a home is located at the extreme end of the property for winter. Further, we think need a DEC criteria, and we propose in our manuscript that the DEC criteria limit wind turbines to no more than a 5 decibel increase over the pre-existing DEC level, and that wind turbines not exceed 55 dBc at any point on the property. And those criteria are explained in our manuscript, which is available at Dr. Pierpont's site or by request from anyone who sends me an email. And that concludes my points.
Very well. Well, that was a little bit like torture by wind turbines, but I thank you very much, and we'll have you stay with us for Carmen's presentation.
I will. Thank you.
Okay, very good.